This should be a fairly familiar situation to you all. A lifetime of tools and a bit of a jumble. I've got well-known brands like Stanley, but I've also got screwdrivers from sets that I don't even remember buying. But today, all of that changes. So what makes a good tool? Here I have a screwdriver from Stanley and I have some pliers here from Knipex. Now these come from the first toolkit that I ever had as a trainee engineer, and they've lasted well over 30 years. Now the pliers don't cut anymore and the screwdriver is certainly looking a little bit beaten up, but it still drives screws perfectly okay. I mean, they've lasted 30 years, and I guess at the time, although I didn't pay for them, my firm did, these probably weren't inexpensive tools in their day either. And if there's one thing that I've learned over the years, it's really to invest in your tools and to buy the best you can afford. So I've decided to replace everything, all of my screwdrivers and all of my pliers and cutters and so on. And I've decided to go with Wera for screwdrivers and Knipex for cutters and pliers and such like. But my Christmas advent calendar this year was from Wera, and over 25 days I collected up this fine toolkit, and I was really impressed with the quality of the tools. It got me looking at the Wera website over the Christmas break and beginning to think that I could potentially replace everything that I have in the workshop, or certainly start afresh in the workshop with Wera, and it wouldn't break the bank. So I also took a look at other manufacturers such as Draper and Stanley Fatmax, and they are very much at a sort of lower price point than Wera, but still I found them really good quality tools. And if you're looking for doing the same sort of thing, that's to say replacing everything that you've got and just starting anew with a decent set of tools, then both Draper and Stanley are pretty good alternatives to the selection that I've made. Certainly if I wasn't prepared to go as far as the price point for Wera, Stanley Fatmax would have probably been the choice I would have made. So I've put probably about as much effort into deciding what screwdriver to buy as I probably would have done when I bought my circular saw 12 months ago. But I wanted to really do a decent job of replacing everything that I had and to go with tools that I knew I could trust. Okay, so we all know how to use a screwdriver, right? Pointy end goes into the screw, fat end goes in your hand. But screwdrivers have a number of features which I don't think people really pay too much attention to. So a sort of fat handle giving you mechanical advantage, a sort of narrow wasted neck which gives you a little bit more fine control. And on these particular screwdrivers and many of the others that I've got, they've got like a hex shaped bit here where you could get a spanner in and increase that mechanical advantage further. So I've standardised on Pozidriv screws for the workshop, very important. And so I have a number of Pozidriv screwdrivers. They have like a little white logo on the top and come in various sizes. So this is a number 2, a number 1 and a number 3. I also have a long handled screwdriver for screws that are far away, and for tight spaces a stubby version. So I'm afraid you can't avoid Phillips screws forever. If you have machine screws, in particular drywall screws are famously Phillips, as well as drawer kits and runners in particular. They'll all come with Phillips screws as opposed to Pozidriv, so you need some of those as well. And to avoid getting confused, I mean, you're meant to tell with the tip. They have different coloured ends to the Pozidrivs that you saw earlier. Now if you're into your pocket holes, then a Robertson drive or a square drive is the shaped tip that you need. And Torx. Torx head screws are becoming increasingly popular. I have some here in the workshop. I have to say I'm not a big fan. I prefer Pozidriv. But of course, stuff that comes into the workshop from outside will often have them, in particular furniture that I want to take apart. And of course you need all the sizes, and there are plenty of them here. Of course then you've got slotted screws. You'll find that on older furniture typically. Brass screws are slotted mostly, and I've got a range of sizes and a sort of long shafted one as well. So the Knipex pliers are all here. There was a set of 3, so they're the larger needle nose pliers, bull nose pliers and large cutters. I also got a smaller set of needle nose pliers, a small bull nose plier, which I find really useful, and some flush cutters. For now I'm using the Wera racks. A couple of the racks came with the sets that I bought, and the other 2 I purchased. They were about £5 each, so that's not a great deal of money at all. As far as this, the pliers are concerned, I need something to go on the wall for those, and for now they're just balanced on the edge of my miter saw stand. So let's give these screwdrivers a bit of a run out, and we'll do a comparison between my old Stanley, which remember is 30 years old, and my new Wera. So the Stanley feels good in the hand, and the tip is in fairly good condition as well. It is a little worn. It doesn't sit in the screw quite as tightly as it probably once was, and obviously it's a little bit corroded, but you know, a good experience, a good drive of the screw. Now these are brand new screwdrivers, and the tips are incredibly well engineered, so they fit the top of the screw really well. The strange looking handle is actually surprisingly comfortable to use. So the Wera screwdriver has a laser tip, and this means that when it's engaged fully and seated into the screw, it actually provides some grip, and you can literally pick up your piece of work with your screwdriver. So really, a good screwdriver really means that you stand a better chance of not damaging the screw head. That's especially important if you want to get the screw out of the piece of work at a later date. Equally, good quality screws minimise the risk that camming out, which is that accidental exit of the screwdriver from the head of the screw, from damaging the tip of the screwdriver. So my guess is that good screws, good screwdrivers, happy life. So thank you very much. That's it. I'm really happy with my new purchases, and I just thought I'd share that with you. If you liked the video, then please give it a thumbs up. If you've got any suggestions to other makes of hand tools that you would recommend, then please pop them in the comments below. I'm sure others would be interested on your thoughts on the tools that you use every day. I have some affiliate links to everything that I've featured in the description below, and I would encourage you to click on those and explore on Amazon. They've got pretty good descriptions, good photographs of everything that I've featured. And if you're not a subscriber, then please do consider subscribing. But for now, from the workshop, cheerio.